Number 24, second baseman, Eddie Stommel. Number 37, center fielder, Danny Lampont. Left fielder, Ricardo Migliore, number 77. Right field, Nick Miceli, number 19. And starting pitcher for the Bonn Cardinals, number 17, Sammy Steiger. And now the rest of the team and the managers, please join the team on the field. Move it, move it, move it. And now the starting lineup of the home team. San Marino Baseball Club leading off. Third baseman, Luca Polzetti, number 7. Number 24, Nathaniel Batista, center field. Number 21, batting third, Dudley Leonardo, left field. Batting fourth, number 77, Jesus Ustaris, first base. Right fielder, number 6, Orfin Petronella. Number 20, catcher, Lorenzo Moresi. Number 13, shortstop, Eric Epifano. Number 16, playing second base, Lorenzo Di Raffaele. Number 45, DH, Lorenzo Di Fabio. 54, excuse me, sir. And starting pitcher, number 26, Andre Rienzo. And the rest of the team and the managing staff, please join the team on the field. Umpires for our game today at the home plate, Edwin Luisa, Netherlands. At first base, Mojmir Jankovic, Slovakia. And at third base, Robas, Netherlands.
And we're live at the Bonn Hour Stadium for the final day of the Champions Cup here in Bonn, Germany. I'm Oli Tangen Jr. and I'm joined today by
Tom Paulus.
Tom Paulus. Tom has been commenting almost every game. Every game?
So far, I've managed to do every game on the first field.
Every game on the first field. Well, he's got his 2 more games.
And now the national anthem of San Marino. Thank you. And now we're good to go. Play conference and then it's the game.
And we're back after getting a chance to listen to the national anthems of Germany and San Marino. And I'm going to run quickly through the lineups for today's game. For San Marino, batting first is Luca Polzetti, playing third base, wearing number 7. Second is Nathaniel Batista, playing right field, wearing number 24. Batting third is Dudley Lorenzo. Loendra, sorry. Wearing number 21 and playing center field. Batting cleanup is Jesus Ustaris, playing first base and wearing number 77. Batting fifth, Ortwin, sorry, really bad handwriting here. Ortwin Pietronella, playing right field. Batting next is Lorenzo Morris, catcher, number 20. Batting seventh is Eric Epifano, playing shortstop, wearing number 13. Batting eighth is number 16, Lorenzo De Raffaele, playing second base. And batting ninth is number 54, Lorenzo Di Fabio, and he's a designated hitter. And the starting pitcher today is Andre Rienzo, number 26. And for the Capitals, leadoff batter is Eric Brink, number 30, playing shortstop. Then we have Wilson Lee, number 21, the designated hitter. Then we have Danny Sanchez, number 8, playing third base. Danny Lampont is batting fourth, number 15, and he is playing first base. Playing batting fifth, wearing number 5, and is the catcher Vinny Arons. Batting sixth is number 42, Eddie Stommel, playing second base. Then we have Danny Lankhorst, wearing number 37, and he's playing center field. Batting eighth is Ricardo Migliore, number 77, playing left field. And lastly, we have number 19, Nick Miceli, playing right field. And the starting pitcher today is Sammy Steigert for the Capitals. All right. Well, we have a very nice day, some clouds in the sky, but no rain in the forecast. And we got a good crowd here in the Rheinauer. A lot of blue and yellow caps. And we do have a game that's going right now in on field 2. Tom, you could maybe tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, it's the placement game for 7th place. And Curaçao Neptunus facing off against the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. That game is very important because the team that's going to lose that game is going to lose a spot in next year's Champions Cup for their country. So either the Netherlands or Germany will lose a spot for next year's Champions Cup, as the Confederations Cup winner from this year will come up and get a chance to compete. So very important game for the entirety of German and Dutch baseball.
And coming up to bat for the Capitals, who are the guests today, is number 30, Eric Brink. And he takes that one high and inside.
Home and away team for both the bronze medal game and as well as the finale have been decided by draw. So Capitals, the away team, at home. And starting pitcher Andre Rienzo, already a start on the mound back on Wednesday.
And a big hit to left field. And that one just faded foul. So 1-1 for Brink. He got a good cut at that one, but just a little too early.
That went a long way.
We do have some wind today. It's hard to see from our... And that's fouled back. 1-2.
Brink from the Bonn leadoff spot, hitting .294 so far in the tournament. 5 for 17, 2 RBI and 5 runs scored. He's also walked 3 times.
And a swing and a miss for the first out for the Capitals. Brink also hit a key hit last night, almost brought in the tying run. Went off the wall, but unfortunately the runner on second was not able to make it home. And it ended last night 6-5, which was a heartbreaking loss for not just the players, but the fans, the organizers, and all the volunteers who've been here all week. But I think we're all back here today wanting another good game for the Capitals and for San Marino. At bat, we have number 21, Wilson Lee.
So also batting 294, 5 for 17, same as Eric Brank before him. But he has hit 2 home runs already this tournament, 5 RBI. It's a big power bat.
And that's taken by the third baseman. Makes the easy throw over to first base for the second out. So according to the tournament rules you were just talking about, Danny Sanchez, number 8, is up to bat now for Bonn. That means that the best 2 teams from Germany will be back next year, but not necessarily the Capitals or the Heideköpfe. Or how does that work?
No, if the Heideköpfe should lose, then Germany will only get 1 spot in next year's Champions Cup. So only the German champion of 2022 will be able to compete, or would be able to compete in the 2023 Champions Cup. So it's, even though if the Heideköpfe would finish last, it wouldn't mean they would be eliminated or have to go down to the Confederations Cup. It just would mean we would lose a German spot. So only 1 German team would be.
And that was another ground out for the third out of the inning. And we're going to be right back with the bottom of the first. And we're back for the bottom of the first. And at bat for San Marino is number 7, Luca Polzetti, playing third base.
Just 1 for 2 so far in the tournament. Just a second appearance, as he has been catapulted to the leadoff spot.
And Sammy Steigart with his patented sidearm delivery, delivering a strike there on the first pitch.
Usually a reliever, of course, as you usually see with sidearmers. It's his first start for the Capitals.
And he starts off with 0-2.
Both of those teams, of course, playing their 5th game in just 5 days, so pitchers are going to be exhausted, and both teams are going to have to scramble to get all the outs here in this game.
Swing and a miss for the first strikeout and the first out of the game. For first strikeout for Steigart, first out for the Capitals.
Made quick work of him there. 3-pitch strikeout to open the ball game.
And now batting number 24, Nathaniel Batista, who is playing right field today.
And he's batting .267 so far here at the Champions Cup in Bonn.
And that one was inside for ball one. And ball two. 2-0. And that one right down the middle for 2-1.
It was Steigert's fastball as it behaves more like a sinker coming out of that arm slot.
And he evens the count. And that one just over Stummel's head. Just barely out of reach for the first hit of the game for Batista. And the first base runner. That brings up number 21, Dudley Leonardo. And he fouls that one off. He is hitting .313. 16 at bats with 5 hits. And no walks in the tournament. 1-1 for Leonardo.
Umpiring crew for today's game, it's the Dutch Edwin Luisa behind the plate, Mojmir Jankovic from the Czech Republic out there at first, and Rob Haas, another umpire from the Netherlands, doing the work at third base today.
Foul tip, that brings the count to 1-2. And here's looks like a double play ball. And that's what it is. To close out the inning for the Capitals. Pretty quick first inning. Still one base runner. So San Marino stranded one. And we're moving now into the top of the second. And we're back for the top of the second. And leading off for the Capitals is Daniel Lampont, who's playing first base today. And he'll take that for ball one. Lampont is hitting .333. for the tournament. 18 at bats with 6 hits and 1 walk. And a swing and a miss, 1-1.
Not producing a lot of runs out of the cleanup spot, just 1 RBI so far. Used to seeing a bit more out of him. We'll see what he can do here in this bronze medal game today.
One and two. He has managed 4 runs. And a good block by the catcher. And that one's going to stay foul.
As game on field 2 is going into the later stages now.
And that's over the head of the right fielder. That'll be extra bases. Stand-up double for Daniel Lampont. So a leadoff double for the Capitals. We've seen 2 balls today just over the top of the player's outstretched gloves.
So on the second field, as we're going into the 8th over there, it's Curaçao Neptunus 6 and Heidenheim 4. So some work to do for the German team.
And we have now batting for Bonn is Vinny Ahrens, the catcher.
Batting just 235.
And it's a slow roller. It's going to take some work, and no, tough play for the third baseman. So an infield hit for Vinny Ahrens. That brings a runner to third. So the Caps have runners on the corners with no outs here in the top of the second.
Good hustle there. Haven't seen that all around the field so far in this bronze medal game. Of course, not as competitive as the semifinals might have been yesterday, or as the final game 7 p.m. is going to be. But nice hustle there by the Bonn catcher, able to beat that out. Reach first base on the infield single.
And fouling that off is number 42, second baseman Eddie Stummer. Right into field 2. And another check swing there. So Stummel is behind in the count here, 0-2.
Runner on the move.
And there's going to be a play at home. And he's out. So safe at second. That ball did get away from the San Marino player, but was able to recover and get the ball to home in plenty of time to get Daniel Lampont out at the plate. Looked like he tried
to him.
Looks like he tried to stop himself or go over the catcher, but nevertheless, that's the first out for the Capitals, but still a runner on second. And that'll even the count at 2-2.
Good change up by Rienzo, 1-2. Executed it nicely below the strike zone. Didn't get Stommel to chase. Count even at 2-2.
And that one went right back to the pitcher. Makes an easy play for the second out at first base. So the Capitals still with a runner in scoring position. And at bat we have Danny Lankhorst playing center field today, as he has for most of the week.
And he's been the best Bonn hitter at this Champions Cup so far, batting a solid 4-12, 7 for 17 with 5 RBIs.
Some nice numbers for the young player.
Usually not one of the stronger hitters on the team, so really nice to see him break out here.
And he'll send that one into field 2 as well. And that went off the umpire, who was having a drink of water on field 2. He looks okay. Bounced right off his protection. I guess that's why you wear it. But he looks good. He's going back for the next inning. High and inside, just getting out of the way of that one, Lankhorst. But this is one of the dangers, obviously, of playing games simultaneously. Those of you who haven't been here, field 2 is right next to field 1. About 20 yards separating the two, 15 yards. And that'll be a strike for 1-2. That one looks like it tapped the jersey, but it's a good take by Lankhorst.
Rienzo really dialing it up here on the fastball on that one. Tried to jam him.
And that's another ground ball to the third baseman with a ground out for Lankhorst for the third out. Still 0-0 here, moving into the bottom of the second. So no runs yet, and I think hopefully we can pick up the offensive on the next couple of innings here in Bonn.
Ich höre schon wieder Stimmen. Wird also immer noch gespielt auf Platz 2. Wechsel.
at bat for San Marino. We have number 77, Jesus Ustaris, the first baseman. And he'll take that for ball 1. And there's a easy grounder to Eric Brank for a routine first out on just 2 pitches from Steigert.
That sinker he throws, he produces a lot of ground balls usually, and has managed to get a double play to enter first, and also 6-3 on the putout to retire Ustaris.
That brings up Ortwin Pietronella, the right fielder wearing number 6. And he fouled that one off to start off the at-bat. And that one again, just over the outstretched glove of Eddie Stommer for a base hit for Pietronella. So no outs, or 1 out.
Moresi now up to the plate. He's been used as a DH mostly so far. Not behind the plate, but of course the catcher in this game. Just 1 for 10 in the tournament. Not having the greatest success at the plate.
Has managed 1 walk in the tournament. And we have, looks like a hit and run. Stolen base, hit and run. But that ball went foul. So everyone moving a bit slower here. Getting back to first base. I guess we all can get that. I've been playing a lot of baseball this week. And 1 and 2 here for Moresi. And that'll even the count at 2.
Just missed up with the fastball. Steigert has shown some good command here through the first 1 and the third. Throwing a lot of strikes, of course. Count even now to Moresi.
Timeout. Yep. There came foul ball from field 2. So they're playing getting a little payback here after batters here have hit some balls into their play. And that one's fouled back towards our softball field.
Runner was on the move again on that last pitch, so Peter Neller trying to reach an extra base here for the second time this at bat.
And there's a wild pitch. So he'll get to second on his 3rd attempt.
I think that's the definition of a wild pitch, is that one when behind the batter. Had to dodge towards home plate, not usually see that happen all that often.
So Steigert gets a new ball. And a high fly ball in the infield. And Stommer will make the out. Second out. Where the sun is, he didn't seem to have to battle it. That might be, I think the sun will be more of a challenge for the players on the left side of the infield today.
Maurice's struggles at the plate continue. Now 1 for 11. Zepifano is up to bat now. 5 for 14 has had quite a lot more success. Really been a key part of this offense.
Hitting .357.
San Marino, an overall very strong offensive team. Just been struggling with their pitching, allowing a lot of runs past couple of games. Surrendered 13 in their semifinal loss to Amsterdam yesterday.
What was the score in that one?
They lost 9-13.
9-13.
They scored a lot of runs late, where the game almost seemed over.
And a swing and a miss there for the third out. And that'll bring to a close inning 2. 0-0. Bonn Capitals against San Marino. This is the bronze medal game here in Bonn, Germany. We'll be back in just a minute.
So, ich schätze mal in 15, 20 Minuten auch wieder mit der Musik anfangen. Zurzeit, also mit lauter Musik anfangen. Mein DJ sagt gerade, dass er Musik spielt, aber das hört ja kein Mensch. Neptunus führt mit 6-4 gegen Heidenheim. Scheinbar wollte man sich auf holländischer Seite doch nicht die Blöße geben.
Just his 4th at bat in this year's Champions Cup. Had his first appearance yesterday, as that's a hard ground ball. Snagged by the shortstop, who drops it on the transfer. So the E6 on the first pitch opens the inning with a leadoff base runner for the Capitals, who are in action quickly.
That was a well-hit ball, but it was also a nice play by the shortstop to get to that. But then, as you said, dropped it on the transfer. And that brings up number 19, Nick Miceli. His parents are here from Connecticut in the U.S., visiting, watching the tournament, cheering on their son.
And he's managed to hit one of his first home runs as a Capital in front of them yesterday.
And he laid down that butt nicely, but just a little too close to the catcher, who managed to get to it and make the out at second base.
2-6 on that fielder's choice, as Bonn came up a little short. Catcher could pick it up quickly and fire to second. Get the lead runner out. But quite a lot more speed on first now. Miceli running.
So 0-1 for Brink. And he's behind at this at bat, 0-2.
Didn't look comfortable at all in his first at bat either. Striking out on an unbalanced swing. Breaking ball to start off the game. Now behind 0-2 again.
And he takes that one high. And that'll even the count at 2.
Another good take. Elevated fastball.
Looks like it could be a double play ball, but no, they get the lead runner. So out at second. Second out of the inning. Brank safe at first. So the Capitals managing to get the bat on the ball, but not managing to get many hits here.
3 ground balls in the inning.
Ball 1 for Wilson Lee, who's batting second position for the Capitals today, the designated hitter. And he pulls that one foul. And that's in there for a strike.
Good off-speed pitch by Rienzo. Getting ahead. 1-2.
And there goes Brank. And there's a ground ball to the second baseman who bobbled it. No throw. He was moving towards second to get the steal. Had to switch directions and bobbled the ball. So the Capitals now have runners on first and second with 2 outs here.
And 2 errors as well.
And up to bat, number 8, Danny Sanchez. Batting just .222 in the tournament. 4 hits and 18 at bats.
Usually a great average and OBP guy. Hasn't really been able to find his groove in the 5 games at this tournament.
And he lays off that one for 1-1. So maybe a chance here to capitalize with 2 outs for the Capitals. And that's foul back. It will avoid field 2.
Sanchez has been attacked with a lot of high fastballs and he's been really struggling with it. Fouling off 2 here. Foul behind the count.
And a swing and a miss there. For strike 3 and the 3rd out. And this brings us to the bottom of the 3rd here. And there's a lot of yelling and screaming going on from field 2. We're going to try to find out if there's any update on the score there. Users at home can probably just click over to that browser window and see what's happening over there. We don't have that option. We actually have to strain our necks to see what's going on. And we'll be right back.
Innings gespielt. 0:0 hier im Spiel. Und Platz 3.
So, two-run home run on field 2 means that the game is tied over there.
In the bottom of the ninth as well. It's a clutch home run there for Heidenheim, keeping them in the game.
And there's a hit by De Ferrari.
Great play by the second baseman on the sliding stop, makes the throw just in time.
So a quick out for the Capitals here. That brings up number 54, Lorenzo De Fabio, who's a designated hitter today.
Making his first appearance in this Champions Cup. At least at the plate. He's been pitching already, but just his first time up to bat.
And he's 1-1 for him. For De Fabio. And you'll take that one for a strike. And that's gonna drop into left field for a single. So De Fabio on his first at bat in the tournament gets a single, a leadoff single for San Marino.
1-out single as Di Raffaele was retired on the ground out.
That's right.
He's batting a perfect 1,000 in the tournament after just one at bat.
Tom keeping an eye on me as usual. We're also craning our necks to see what the action happening on field 2 here. And that's fouled off for strike 1. This is the leadoff batter, Luca Polzetti, the third baseman. And this one hit in the gap, makes it through. De Fabio will stay at second. So with 1 out, San Marino now has runners on first and second. And up to bat is number 24, Nathaniel Batista, the right fielder.
Of course.
Batista's hitting 267.
We of course don't know how long Semi Staggered can go out there, as I mentioned in the beginning of the game. Not usually a starting pitcher in his third inning of work.
And he'll start that off with a ball. I think any pitcher they're going to put in there is not going to let it go very long at this point in the tournament.
Every pitcher has been used by both teams at least once, of course. Very late time call. Once again, by the on-plate umpire Edward Luizes. That's been a trend I've been witnessing all tournament long. Not really nice on the pitchers. We're oftentimes already in their wind-up, ready to deliver the pitch.
And that's a strike. So staggered ahead, 1 and 2.
As in the second game, the winning run for Heidenheim has just walked himself on to first base.
And a swing and a miss for strike 3. That'll take us to 2 outs here, the bottom of the 3rd. And up to bat is number 21, Dudley Leonardo. Hitting .313 for the tournament. And he'll take that one inside.
Hit into a double play to end bottom of the 1st. So it can only get better for him as he's batting with 2 outs.
And that one taken by the 3rd baseman, Danny Sanchez. Nice play, backhand. Gets the force out at 3rd for the 3rd out of the inning. And that'll take us to the 4th, to the top of the 4th. And we can maybe switch over and see what's happened over there with the Heidenheim game next door.
Vielleicht wird doch noch alles gut. Das hätte ich auch nie gedacht, dass ich mal zu Heidenheim halte, aber für alles gibt es mal eine Zeit. Drei Innings gespielt und ich höre gerade, die Schwäbische Alb ist auf Lebzeiten für mich gesperrt. Dabei drücke ich Ihnen doch die Daumen, mein Gott. Oberhälfte 14 Inning, die Caps wieder im Angriff. Und Pitching Change. San Marino. Now pitching number 6. Auswählen Piccelli. So, new pitcher ahead. We got a new right fielder, the DH. Lorenzo De Ferrari is now playing right field. So, no more DH.
So it's still tied at 6. Neptunus, Heidenheim. And over on field 1, we have a new pitcher. The right fielder, Ortwin Pietranella, coming in to pitch here in the top of the 4th. And the designated hitter, Lorenzo De Ferrari, will now go to right field. And Pietranella starts it off with a strike to Daniel Lampont.
The game, Heidenheim. Kurosawa Neptune is now going into extra innings as the bottom of the 9th has ended. Score 6-6.
And that will, even for the final games, or I guess not a final game, but that will also start with runner on 1st and 2nd?
Yes, it does. All tournament.
All tournament. So 1 and 2 here for Lampont. 2-2. And that one's skied, but it might be in play. Yep. First baseman under it for the first out.
Both of the offenses have been kept in check really well by the pitching on both sides so far. No score as we head into the fourth. And just 2 hits in total for Bonn and 4 for San Marino through the first 3 innings.
So Vinny Ahrens at the plate for Capitals. And he pulls one through the gap. First pitch. Single for Ahrens.
Back-to-back singles for him as he's 2 for 2 against the San Marino pitching.
And Eddie Stummel.
Peter Nella out there on the mound by the looks of it. Not a standard pitcher, but might just be a position player with a bit of pitching experience, throwing as he's not overpowering, just serving up some fastballs to the Bonn hitters.
Well, he's pitching better than a lot of those position players you see now in the MLB.
Oh, he definitely is. Maybe sitting somewhere in the upper 70s, low 80s.
Instead of the low 40s. Those are fun games, but it can get a little ridiculous.
Yeah, it's always great to see bigs.
And here's another steal attempt. Out by a mile. So Moresi, the catcher, no problem for him there. It's perfect throw, about a yard to the right of the base. Plenty of time to get the runner.
It's strange to see the catcher running, 1 down, trying to steal a bag.
So the catcher throwing out the catcher. Imagine his legs are tired after this week.
Vinny Ahrens has been catching
And
all week
there's
long.
up the middle, off the pitcher, but right to the shortstop. So third out, Eddie Stummel. Usually when it goes off the pitcher, you get a chance, but this time it went right to the shortstop, and that brings to a close the top of the fourth. And we'll be right back.
Immer noch 0:0 und nebenan geht's übrigens in den Tiebreak. 6:6 nach 9 gespielt. Übrigens auf Feld 2 im Abstiegsduell zwischen Neptunus Curaçao und den Heidenheim Heideköpfen.
So we're back. The game next to us in the top of the 10th. And here we have number 77, Jesus Ustaris, the first baseman.
as there's been a defensive change made by the Bonn Capitals. Third baseman Danny Sanchez left the game, and now in for him is number 31, Leonard Vela, making his second appearance, 0 for 2 in the tournament so far.
So first 1-1 for Staggart, who is out there in the fourth inning. This is a long outing for Staggart.
Quite surprising to see him go out there for a fourth inning.
Falls behind 2-1. And that's a nice single into right field. Splits the infielders for a leadoff runner. So Ustaris on base, first baseman on first base, and that brings up Ortwin Petranella, who's now the pitcher for San Marino. And you'll take that one way inside for a ball.
Peter singling back in the second inning, where it was stranded out there.
And a broken back single here. That bat landing in 3 pieces.
As there's been some more action over on field 2. Grand slam home run for Curaçao Neptunus, putting them up 10-6 in the top half of the 10th inning. There's a lot more going on over there offensively than on field 1 so far. But with 2 runners on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th, might see a pitching change for Bonn, and that's exactly the case.
Neptunus losing that strange game yesterday. I don't know if we can really explain what happened there, but it was they had to win by 3, so they were trying to balk their way into the next. And if you get a chance, go back into the archives and watch the end of that game to see some interesting baseball. Some baseball I think both Tom and I have never seen before. And the pitch and change here coming in for Bonn, or moving to the pitcher mound, Wilson Lee.
He's been out there once. This Champions Cup throwing 3 innings. Now looking to get some outs for the Bonn pitching staff, which has been really drained over the past couple of days. 2 extra inning games as well for Bonn.
Grand Slam 10-4 der neue Spielstand. 10-6, Entschuldigung. 10-6 der neue Spielstand in der oberen Hälfte 10.
So moving from DH to pitcher. So the stadium has quieted a bit. A lot of fans here from Heidenheim after that grand slam in field 2, down by 4.
First real offensive chance for San Marino, as well as they got the first 2 guys on.
Still no outs here. The bottom of the 4th.
Might see a bunt here, even though it's the catcher at the plate. With runners on first and second and nobody out. Very good chance.
Lorenzo Morris. We've seen a lot of these sacrifice bunts, especially in the extra innings, when they start the inning with men on first and second.
Of course, trying to avoid the double play, but Miceli not squaring around to bunt.
And he hits that into left. That looks like that will fall. Got one run coming in. And a stand-up double. Lorenzo Morris. And that'll make that's the first run of the game for San Marino.
Line drive. Left fielder Ricardo Migliore was shifted a bit towards left center. Couldn't quite run down. Got down in front of him. Everyone advancing 2 bases.
And 1-0 now for number 13, Eric Epifano, the shortstop for San Marino.
A fastball found the outside part of the plate. Lee getting back. Still a dangerous situation for the Bonn defense with 2 runners in scoring position and still no man out.
And Lee gets the swing and a miss there. And that one will bounce foul. Still 1-2.
San Marino catcher striking out in the second and now also swinging and missing at that one.
So that one was way off the plate, but fooled by the pitch. Brings up number 16, Lorenzo De Ferrari, second baseman. So 1 out, second and third for San Marino. And that one stays high.
Good looking breaking ball by Lee, just didn't quite get back into the zone.
And another ball from Lee. And falling behind here, Lee with 3-0.
San Marino, second baseman, hitting eighth. Grounded out his first time around.
And that one straight down the middle for strike 1.
De Raffaele. Also, just his 4th at bat in the Champions Cup, looking for his first hit.
And he'll take that for ball 4. That'll load the bases with 1 out for San Marino. So that's Bonn hoping here for a double play ball and the inning. And that brings up the number 9 hitter, Lorenzo Di Fabio. Struck out looking. And that's a ball got past Arons. That'll bring in a run. Everybody will advance. So still one out here. Runners on second and third. And a swing and a miss for De Fabio. So some action happening over there in field 2.
Right now, scoring their 7th run, getting back to within reach.
Yeah, that one, nice block by Arons, saving a run there.
But Lee really struggling to find the strike zone. A lot of balls bouncing in the dirt. Walked last hitter, now behind 3-1 once again. But offense also hasn't really woken up. We'll have to fight back in the upcoming innings.
And there's a fly ball to center. Deep enough. I think that'll bring in a run. Yep. So, tagging up for the 3rd run was number 20. Morris, the catcher. Did I look at that right? And we're back to the top of the order. Luca Polzetti, the 3rd baseman, with 2 outs here. San Marino pulling ahead here with 3-0. And that one looked good from up here, but called the ball. And swing and a miss. And the San Marino team learning that they need to, that the on-deck batter gets the pass balls, or the foul balls, I guess I would say. And a swing and a miss there. 1-2. So ahead in the count here for Lee. Still runner on second for San Marino. 2 outs. And that'll even the count, 2-2.
He just needs one more strike to get out of this inning, limiting the damage to only 3.
And that'll load the count. So full count, 2 outs. Runner will be going. And getting a piece of that one, but it's staying foul.
And I am now down to the last strike over on field 2. Down 2 still.
So Polzetti hoping to stay alive here with full count, 2 outs. And he pulls that one foul.
There was a rocket just out in front of Lee's pitch. We'll get to see another pitch on 3 and 2.
And a swing and a miss for strike 3 to end the inning. So, San Marino scoring 3, putting themselves up 3-0, going into the 5th inning here. And it looks like on the other field we have a result, Tom?
Yeah, and the last Hainan batter was just retired on a ground ball. Neptune is holding on to their lead, winning by a score of 10-8, which means with Hainan finishing in last place, even though they won their first 2 games in the group stage, just missing the semifinals. Now lost both relegation games, finished in last place. So only one German team will be able to attend next year's Champions Cup, and we'll have to wait and see who's going to be the German champion in 2022 and who will be able to compete next year, wherever the 2023 Champions Cup might take place. But Neptune is just barely holding on, finishing 7th.
With a grand slam in the 10th inning. So tough for the Heidekopfer to make it back from that. So a disappointing tournament for them. So now we can shift our full attention back to field 1 and coming to bat for Bonn. Down 3-0 is Danny Lankhorst, the center fielder. Lankhorst hitting .412 in the tournament, not including this game.
Curacao and Neptunus supporters' air horns are now sounding through the ballpark.
And 2-0 for Lankhorst. And the Heidekopfer fans supporting their team with waving their flags. And there's a high foul ball. That one will land in the softball field. 2-1. Tom not too happy about Germany. Only now going to have one team.
Of course, it's a huge pushback to the German baseball, who've really been climbing their way into the top of European tournaments for the past few years, and now a big setback. Only one team in next year's Champions Cup. Bonn have really put up some good performances in last year's Champions Cup, where they reached the finals, and this year as well.
There's a high fly ball deep to left, and that will be a home run for Danny Lankhorst, extending his position as the best Bonn hitter of the tournament.
That one landing right on top of a car parked out there, right behind the left center field fence. Not the best parking spot in Bonn, maybe. That'll give a nice bump to the top of your car. Alright, 2-2 fastball caught too much of the plate. Lankhorst did miss it. Absolutely crushed it out left center field.
Someone got a unwanted souvenir from the tournament, but that's a risk. I guess a lot of the Bonn supporters know it's a risk to park right there behind the fence.
The way I've experienced it is, as there's a few parking spots out there behind some bushes and some trees where you've experienced Bonn fans and volunteers and everyone working around the ballpark are parking their cars or arriving early in the morning. And the fans maybe coming just to attend the game now, filling up parking spots out there. At least one of them drive home a little unlucky maybe. A little unhappy with that.
Another well hit ball, but that one's way foul. Into the trees. This is Ricardo Migliore.
He reached on an error by the shortstop. His first appearance. 0 for 1. Looking to keep it going.
And that one is skied, maybe just out of play.
And that just missed Udo Schmitz, who was sitting out there on the VIP seats right behind the backstop. Of course, the chief of the Bonn Capitals. You could say it like that.
Part of a baseball dynasty here. And that's a ball. 2-2 for Migliore. And that's another well hit ball over the center fielder's head, but he will back up and pull it in for the first out.
That might have been enough had he pulled it over to left field. Well, the ball was a bit closer. Hit it straight out to deep center field, where center fielder made the catch on the warning track to retire Migliore.
Miller, as he's called. And here's Nick Miceli, number 19. He'll take ball one.
Reached on a fielder's choice after trying to lay down a sacrifice bunt. Head now 2-0. Batting .273.
And he pulls that into left. And that will go off the wall. Heading to second base for a stand-up double is Miceli. So 3 well-hit balls by the Capitals.
Bottom of the lineup as well. Have been really productive in the 7, 8, and 9 spots all tournament long. Miceli starting to show his power sides a bit. Yesterday, that big home run, double in this game, as he's usually singles and base and balls, high OBP guy. But ball smoked down the left field line, and he's in scoring position, just one down.
And that brings up the leadoff batter for the Capitals, Eric Brank. And he takes the first pitch strike.
Piccelli taking a huge lead out there. Dancing around trying to mess with the pitcher's timing, who decides to step up the rubber.
And high and inside. 1-1 for Brank.
As we've mentioned before, Peter Nella out there not throwing the hardest stuff, mostly fastballs as well.
And just missing that one.
That was a great swing.
Nice swing. That's the one you want back as a hitter.
With Wilson Lee on deck, the big power guy for Bonn.
Petronella got away with that one, I think.
Eric Brank looking for any chance to get on base.
Two and two here.
Great take on a rare Piazanella curveball. Brank oftentimes will be chasing that off-speed pitch out of the zone, but not here. Being patient.
And another take. We'll take it to full count for Brank. Brank, one of the batters, prefer to hit the ball. And he gets a lot of that one, but that's going to fade foul.
Second foul home run this game, as he had one back in the first as well. Really great swings, he just can't quite keep it fair.
And he hits that one to deep right center. And a nice over-the-head catch by the center fielder.
I have to say, I must have completely missed Miceli taking third base at some point in this at-bat. Silently stealing that base because he just came home to score from third base. I don't really know how that can happen, stealing without almost anyone noticing.
A stealth steal by Miceli. Fooled both the commentators. Focusing here. To say I have a nice fan in front of me, creating some cool air, but it's blocking third base. Is that an excuse? No.
Yeah, I'll count that.
You'll count that one? All right. I'm going to change position here so we don't miss that kind of play again. So at bat is Wilson Lee.
As I just asked both our director sitting next to us as well as our camera guy who is located on the Bonn dugout over there on the first base side. Neither of them caught Miceli stealing third base as well. So we'll see. So for once it might be interesting to look at the scoring report after the game as to how Miceli got to third base.
So 3-0 here for Lee. And standing up, making no attempt to swing, taking ball 4.
We'll bring out San Marino pitching coach.
Oh, the tying run on first base now.
The third baseman already starting to throw some hard balls over to second baseman, maybe trying to get ready for a pitching appearance himself. Leonard Vela coming to the plate for the first time after entering defensively for Danny Sanchez.
And you'll start off with a ball inside. And that one way high, getting past the catcher. And Wilson will trot over to second there.
So I've just looked up the official e-scoring report. That is visible at wbsceurope.org. And even they don't seem to know how Miceli reached third base, because after the double, it's just the sacrifice fly on there. No stolen base, no wild pitch. He could have advanced. Still, big mystery.
We'll have to talk to him after the game. And that one right down the pipe for the first strike.
Great pitch to hit, as once again Peter Nella's fastball not coming in at a very high velocity, but taken all the way on 3-0.
And gets a walk. So Weller getting to first base on a walk there. So Bonn with 2 outs. Men on first and second.
There's going to be a pitching change as the San Marino head coach makes his way out to the home plate umpire. And we'll be back in a second with a new pitcher on the mound for San Marino.
Sieht nach dem Pitcherwechsel aus. Geht wieder ins right field.
Piccelli situation, as apparently he was bogged over to third base. I didn't catch my eye, but the official WBSC Europe website, it says he was bogged over to third base, which allowed him to score on that sacrifice fly. The first 2 pitches find the zone. Lampont not too happy about that, as Polzetti gets ahead of him quickly, 0-2. And he swings and misses as Polzetti gets him on 3 pitches to retire the side in the top half of the 5th. As we head into the bottom half of the 5th inning here on Caps TV.
Deine Hut. Kein vielleicht, kein morgen, kein gestern.
Niederlage gegen die Dominikanische Republik.
Das Talent und das Potenzial ist da.
Versuch es, wie du es noch nie versucht hast.
Hoffe ich doch, dass wir am Schluss dann in Berlin dabei sind.
Spiel für deine Geschichte und die Hut.
Die FIBA Eurobasket 2022. Live bei Magenta TV und Magenta Sport.
It hasn't been such a long time since people first started shopping online, and it was easy to keep up with the clicks. By little by more, the clicks added up to be more than the stores, and e-tailers worked harder than ever before, because they had to keep up with the clicks. All of a sudden, there are so many must-dos if you want to keep selling, like delivery there, no there, or there.
And make it tomorrow. First thing.
No time for borders. Got to stay in control, to stay in the flow and continue to grow. But we'll help you. Keep up with the clicks.
So, close game here. 3-2 for San Marino. Wilson Lee back on the mound for the Capitals. And that'll bring up number 24, Nathaniel Batista, the right fielder.
Wilson Lee back out there, despite some struggles. Of course, as we've talked about numerous times now. Pitching staff probably pretty tired at this point.
The game is, for the San Marino team, it's like a Little League game where the pitcher just moves from another position and then goes back, taking a pitcher from another position. Don't see that also at this level of baseball.
Not usually, but they don't seem to be having a single reliever left that's ready to throw.
A lot of these guys might be going back to their regular season, so 3-1 here. And leadoff walk for Batista.
And that's going to be all for Wilson Lee, it looks like.
And as Bonn makes a pitching change, we're going to take a break here.
Miceli on his way to the mount. Wilson Lee wird wohl Right-Click gehen, nehme ich an, holt sich schnell einen neuen Handschuh. Oder holt sich einen neuen Handschuh. Ja, also mit Miceli geht auf den Mount. Now, Dudley Leonardo betting for San Marino. Miceli pitching for the Bonn Capitals. San Marino leading by.
So it's going to be right fielder Nick Miceli coming to the mound for the Bonn Capitals here in the bottom half of the fifth, as pitcher Wilson Lee went out to right field. The first pitch is popped up, and that's the first pitch out, as Dudley Leonardo retired quickly. So straight change for the Bonn defense. Pitcher out to right field, right fielder coming into pitch.
That brings up number 77. Jesus Usteris, the first baseman. And the first pitch strike.
Great first pitch off speed. Breaking ball by Nick Miceli. Gets a lot of break on that. Very slow curveball.
And gets past him with the fastball. So getting ahead here, Miceli with 0-2. And that one's high. We have a steal attempt. And again, we've seen this on both sides. Out by a mile. I don't think I've seen one successful stolen base yet this tournament.
And I don't know, they just seem to not really be running at full speed. I can't really explain how every base runner trying to take the extra 90 feet is being gunned down by 3 or 4 steps.
Yeah, I mean, usually it's a pretty close play, but here it's been not even close. And then I wonder why runners keep getting sent. Oh, and that's a hit by pitch. So number 77, not too happy with that. Obviously not on purpose there.
A 2-2 count with 2 down.
Ball getting away from Miceli. And Uster is really taking his time. So getting the wave from Miceli. And he still doesn't look very happy. Number 77. Walking slowly to first base. It's right, hit him right in the center of his back. Can't be fun.
He's gonna feel that for a few days at the very least.
First pitch strike. This was the pitcher, now right fielder again, Petronella. And a big high fly ball to left. But that one looks to be staying in and will be caught for the third out. So with the score 3-2 for San Marino, we're moving into the 6th inning here at the Bonn Rheinauer. And we'll be right back.
Ich denke, ich werde nach dem Spiel, ich weiß noch nicht, was ich mache, also ich bin völlig fertig. Ich habe heute noch keine Pommes gegessen. Aber gut, das sind die Unabwägbarkeiten eines langen Turniers. 6. Inning. 13 Führung für San Marino.
Okay, and we're back at the top of the 6th with Vinny Arons at the plate. We just heard a grumble go through the crowds as they announced that the fry machine making all of the nice French fries for our crowd has broken down. So, tragic loss here for the fans. And there's a nice diving catch by the first baseman, Jesus Usteris, who was just hit in the back the last inning by a pitch, robbing Arons of at least a single. Very acrobatic play, caught that in full stretch. And that'll be the first out. And at the plate now is Eddie Stommer, number 42.
Grounded out to the pitcher twice already. Really looking to keep it to get it going here as he's 0 for 2.
And taking a strike. Checking out the pitcher here. And that's outside for 1-1. The new pitcher, Polzetti, who moves over from third base. Who moved over from third base already. Two and one. And that evens the. That's no, sorry, 3-1. So hitters count here for Stommer. Let's see what happens.
Polzetti, after coming in, struck out Daniel Lampont at the inning, behind here in the count for the first time.
And he hits that to the shortstop. Nice backhand. Nice backhand. Makes the play. So 2 down.
Really not a lot of life coming right now from the Bonn offense.
Except from this guy, Danny Lankhorst, who homered. Another one here would tie the game.
He's really been the high point of a very strong Bonn team. Seeing him perform at the plate, getting hit after hit, and now batting almost 500.
So some sort of timeout called here.
We're still looking for the ball. It got stuck in the
The ball seems
I guess the ball got stuck behind one of the banners here. There it is. Making sure all the balls are off the field.
so 2 outs, 2 balls. Danny Lankhorst batting.
And that one inside. So 3-0 for Lankhorst. Probably be taking here, which he does. Shakes his head as he was hoping for a chance to swing there. I think we've learned about the steal strategy. Don't know if they still have one, but seen a couple steal attempts this game. All of them thrown out by, like you said, a good 3 steps.
Lankhorst's a really speedy guy, but has been caught twice on the base paths already, so in this tournament.
Yeah, and there's a first called strike for Migliore. How does he pronounce it?
I'm not quite sure either. So I think it's a hard G, so Migliore.
Migliore. And he got ahead of that one. Tricked by the off-speed pitch. Maybe a lot of people can't pronounce it, that's why they call him Miller.
Could be one of the reasons why.
And that one's way inside. So Lankhorst does not look like he's making any plans on first. With 2 outs here. And that one is pulled foul. Still 1 and 2.
And as we're starting to get late into this game, Bonn offense really need to show a bit more, looking to tie the game or even take the lead.
As you said, it's the bottom of the order who have been pretty productive for the Capitals. And there is a shot to right center, and caught just off his shoelaces by the center fielder. Nice hit, but nice play by the center fielder to make the 3rd out. And that will bring us to the bottom of the 6th. Score: San Marino 3, Bonn 2. And we'll be right back.
Capitals 2 after 5.5 innings of baseball.
Miceli going for his sidearm, but that one was outside for a ball. And the breaking ball also called a ball. And Miceli falling behind, 3-0 here. And that's a 4-pitch walk for Epifano. So still 0 for 0. 0 for 2. 0 for 0. 0 for 2. And it's Lorenzo De Ferrari, the second baseman, number 16.
0 for 1, reach base via the walk. No ball.
And he hits that one to the second baseman, sliding catch, turns, makes the play. For out number 2. That advances the runner. But a nice acrobatic play there by Eddie Steigert. Stommel, sorry. Sammy Steigert, Eddie Stommel. I'll get it. And Miceli having trouble finding the strike zone here. Had a few how many appearances has he had so far? I saw him in one game.
It was just the one game on the
Just
mound.
the one game, yeah.
Where he struggled a bit as well. That Bonn win over Curacao Neptunus. They just managed to hold on late in the game.
Oh, that one looked good. We heard strike called on the field, but it is a ball. And that one's high and inside. 3-1.
To the number 9 hitter as well. Not the guy you want to walk.
Di Fabio.
But he's been really good out at that 9 spot. 1 for 1 with the sacrifice fly. And the base hit.
And he gets the swing and a miss there to fill the count. So 2 outs, full count here. And there's a high fly ball to right, but Lee looks like he'll get that one. And he does. For the third out. Still 3-2. San Marino leading the Bonn Capitals. Going into the top of the 7th inning. And we'll be right back.
Zwei Drittel des Spiels und Platz 3 sind rum. Enges Spiel, 3:2 die Führung für San Marino. Die Caps im Angriff.
And we're back at the top of the 7th inning. The pitcher for the Bonn Capitals is now batting. Number 19, Nick Piccelli. Sitting today in the 9th position. So the Capitals really got to get going here. They want to get back into the game. And that one hits the outside corner. take that one for a ball. 1-1.
Luca Polzetti has been really solid ever since coming to the mound back in the fifth inning that was.
And that one is outside. 2-1. Definitely looks like he's a pitcher, as well as a. And there's a nice knock by Miceli to start it off here. Into right center field. So a leadoff runner for the Capitals. And that brings up Eric Brank.
Tying run for Bonn on first base. Go ahead run. Stepping up to the plate.
And trying to bunt it there was Brank. Didn't get the bat on the ball for strike one.
Brank 0 for 2 with that mysterious sac fly in the fifth, which scored Piccelli.
And squaring around again for the bunt. And he lays it down. And he will be out, but that advances the runner. So the tying run is at second, one base hit away.
As we're getting late into this game, Bonn not really concerned about tying this game up.
So this is when I tell my teammates, don't swing for the stands here. Base hit brings it in. Base hit ties it up. Or don't swing for the cars, I guess, in our stadium. The trees are the cars.
Lee has been struggling in this game, 0 for 2 with a walk. Not getting any hits to this point.
And he takes first pitch ball. That one has been called a strike a few times.
Borderline pitch, just missed.
And that's pulled, and we'll get past. Got past the third baseman. Shortstop picked it up, but not in time. But did manage to get a glove on it, so that held the runner at third base. So with one out, Bonn has runners on first and third. And this time we saw how Miceli reached third base. No mystery there.
It's going to be a pinch hitter, second substitution in that Bonn number 3 spot as Leonard Baller exits the game, and it's going to be pinch hitter number 13, Justus Recki. A big spot here. 2 men on the corners and just 1 down. And left and center fielder have gathered out there. Might be an injury problem or something of sorts out there.
There was also some good base riding by Miceli, who saw that the third baseman was off the bag. Managing, usually when the ball is hit to the left side and you're on second with nobody on first, you don't always advance as you would be running into the ball.
What a great read there by him. Very good base runner.
Smart baseball. And that put the tying run at third instead of at second base. So some smart baseball here late in the game, creating an opportunity for Bonn.
So both the tying and go-ahead run for Bonn on base. As Polzetti starting to get a little bit wild, facing a little bit of traffic out there on the bases for the first time since coming in.
And that's that pitch again. This time it caught the corner.
Recchi has had 8 at-bats in this Champions Cup. Just 1 hit so far. Looking for a change, as he's been struggling offensively in the Bundesliga as well. But no time better to end a bit of a slump than in a spot like this in a bronze medal game of the Champions Cup.
And missed on that one. Didn't seem to be a full swing. Maybe he got tricked on that. So that brings it to 2-2. So Lee is going. That one has been skied in the infield. Lee managing to get back in time. Ran all the way to second and had to turn around and head back to first base. So again, Bonn having runners on first and third, and now 2 outs. And that brings up Daniel Lampont.
Just 1 for 3 today, and a total of 7 for 21 on the tournament as he's batting. A solid .333. Clutch spot here late in the game for the Bonn first baseman.
And he takes a big cut at that one. Fastball right down the middle, fouled it off for the first strike. And another one. That gets it to 0-2. So just a hair off on these fastballs.
Not coming in too hard either. The San Marino reliever, but can keep it fair, just undercutting both of those pitches.
So some 2-strike hitting here for Lampont. And he pulls that one, which was way inside the pitch. So that was well hit, but also well foul. Staying alive here. So we've seen a bunch of well hit balls up the left side, pulled foul. So still 0-2. 2 outs here. And that one is sky to left. Could drop. And it does. And it does. Perfectly placed between the shortstop and the left fielder.
And what a lucky break here for the Bonn Capitals, as that ball was skied and looked like it was going to be caught all day long. But third, it's a shortstop going back into left field, and the left fielder not wanting to take the ball away from him. The ball dropped right in between them. Ties the game here with 2 down in the top of the 7th.
Lucky break for the Capitals. That's usually the left fielder. Can call off the shortstop there. He has the better view. He has the better perspective.
You can also make that catch coming in instead of going out and making the over-the-shoulder grab.
One of the hardest plays in baseball. So we have 3-3 here in the 7th. Miceli scoring the run, and Wilson Lee on third. And we have Vinny Ahrens at the plate.
2 for 3, 2 singles, and then lined out in the 6th as the first baseman, San Marino, made that great play.
And that one's fouled straight back. And there's not much sun right now, so I don't think the sun played a role in that. I think it just was in a really lucky spot for the Capitals. And a strike there.
Good
So
high
1 and 2.
fastball.
Those are the ones you want to swing at. It looked like he wanted to swing on that, but held up. Man, that one's outside. So 2 and 2 with 2 outs. Runners on the corners. So a hit here would put Bonn ahead for the first time this game. And that one is up the left side, but curls just foul. That one not that far foul, at least from our perspective. Coming from a lefty batter.
Of course, with Vinny Ahrens going opposite field, that ball just kept on curling to the left side and just hooked foul in the end.
So 2 and 2 for Ahrens. And a late swing on that one as well. And that right next to the stand that's selling some baseball equipment. Luckily nobody was hit. Staying alive here with 2 and 2. And that one has gone past the catcher. Wilson Lee scoring. Tough, another break for the Capitals. So I think that's the first wild pitch I've seen by this pitcher. That also advanced the runner to second place into scoring position. And now the count is full with 2 outs for Ahrens.
And the Capitals scoring 2 runs on just 3 hits, playing small ball, almost to perfection. Getting ahead here late in this one, the top of the 7th, up 4-3 now.
And that one is high for ball 4. So the inning continues for the Capitals. And now Eddie Stommel. And you always hear clapping. I have to say I'm not German, so I don't know the song, but
It's a Cologne Carnival song, one of the biggest one out there by ground ball.
Ground ball, he bobbled it. That was a very, very softly hit ball. Should have been an easy routine play for the shortstop.
But just to finish that point, the song is about Eddie Stommel or any Cologne boy embracing all of their specialties as being originated in Cologne. And it's been his walk-up song for forever. The fans love him for it, and he's been a fan favorite for the longest time now.
And of course, this we're being not too far from Cologne. Everyone knows the song, and that's why. They fair? No, just foul.
Danny Lankhorst 1 for 2 with a big home run and a walk, and he almost got at least a double on that swing. Just missed foul.
With bases loaded.
It was a great swing at the Bonn center fielder once again.
So Lankhorst back at the plate. And he'll take that one inside. So the Capitals definitely making contact, getting on base, and getting some runs here late in the game. And he'll take that one outside.
No place to put him. The base is juiced. So Polzetti will have to come right after Danny Lankhorst, deliver something in the strike zone most likely. We've seen that Lankhorst can do damage.
And that's a base hit. That's going to fall. That's bringing in one. We got a second one coming in. Throw to the plate. Gets past the pitcher. The catcher able to keep it in front of himself. Oh, sorry, gets past the first baseman. And that's a 2-run double for Lankhorst.
And another huge hit for the Bonn youngster. I mean, he's 25 by now.
And here comes Miller.
festgestellt, dass der Fritteusenreparaturboot, die ist immer noch nicht da war. Keine Pommes. Das ist nicht lustig. So, wir haben auf dem Mount einen Neumann. Pitcherwechsel bei den Capitals. Now pitching number 66, Dovidas Neverauskas. Wir haben einen Wechsel an der dritten Base. Daniel Lampont wird von der ersten auf die dritte Base. Rücken die jetzt auf der ersten Base.
Bottom of the 7th inning, as we see a new pitcher on the mound for the Bonn Capitals as its star reliever, Dovydas Neverauskas, the MLB veteran from Lithuania. Part of the Bonn bullpen, as there are a few defensive changes as well. Nick Miceli, of course, no longer on the mound, back out in right field as right fielder Wilson Lee takes over at first base. First baseman Daniel Lampont over to third base, and third baseman Justus Recki no longer in the game.
And leading off the inning is their leadoff batter, Luca Polzetti for San Marino.
They're going to see some very different pitch speeds here as Neverauskas sitting comfortably at around 94 to 96 miles an hour.
And that's a foul ball straight back for the first strike. He always looks so relaxed on the mound.
And he still throws it as hard as almost anyone.
And he'll take that for a ball, 1-1. So you can hear the speed up here with the sound coming off the catcher's glove. And he chased that one, fouling it off.
Neverauskas throwing that fastball a lot, as it's really effective in the German Bundesliga as well as Champions Cup so far. Hitters struggling to catch up to it. And so often see fastballs only until we're at least in a 2-strike count, or until Neverauskas is.
And that one is low for, excuse me, ball 2.
Another foul ball. Polzetti putting together solid battle. San Marino leadoff hitter. It's 1 for 3 with a base hit and 2 strikeouts.
So 2 and 2 here. And that's hit right back to the pitcher. Makes the easy toss over for out number 1.
So great start to his outing.
That was a bit of a battle, but ended up with an easy out. And up now is Nathaniel Batista. And I'm reminded by our announcer here that the name of the ball club is San Marino Baseball Club, not just San Marino. So
at least it's the official name they put on the roster for the Champions Cup. Got San Marino Republic written on their jerseys.
And that one just missing inside for ball 1. And that one hit easy to Eddie Stommel. Goes down on, gets his leg behind it too, just to make sure it doesn't go through his legs, and makes the easy play to first. So pretty quickly, Bonn has 2 outs here.
Just as a side note, it's been twice this inning now that Nebraska's not happy with the ball. Threw that all the way to the dugout, and head coach Max Schmidt's catching it barehanded as that throw. It's good 120 feet. No problem out there. So the Bonn head coach, of course, was a great player once himself a couple of years back.
Great pitcher for the Capitals. Now the head coach.
Injuries
manager.
Ended his career early, unfortunately.
And gets the swing and a miss there.
It's the great breaking ball that Nebraska's also features.
So 2 outs, 2 strikes here. This could end the inning. And that one is fouled straight back. Still 0-2.
We're lucky that the fence is there, as I was heading right in our direction up here in the commentary booth.
I think they engineered it perfectly with the fence. Very hard. Have you had a ball back here?
No, we've had a few close calls, just a few meters above our heads, but nothing into the booth just yet.
And the on-deck batter not getting the ball. Here's the ball boy getting it. Loving it. Bringing some balls to the ref and getting to pick one up on the way back. One of the young players here in the Bonn club. And he chased that one for a swing and a miss.
And as we can tell you now, as you see in the Bonn team coming out to the field, it has been agreed before first pitch of this game between the 2 general managers and the technical commission of the Champions Cup that due to the lack of pitchers on both sides, we were only going to play 7 innings, as that was set from the beginning, as that 7th inning has just ended with Bonn up 6-3. It means that's the end of the game. Bonn winning, taking home the bronze medal here as the hometown team this year's Champions Cup.
And the teams out there congratulating each other, and we're going to be in a minute talking to head coach from the Bonn Capitals, Max Schmitz, in just a minute. So the teams shaking each other's hands. I think both are happy. Bonn is happy to won, but also I think happy for this tournament to be over. It was a long week.
And just an amazing result for the Bonn team going up against a lot of professional teams, especially the 2 teams from Italy. Professionals, not like the German baseball teams. So a great result, finishing 3rd out of the And that means in 2022, the Bonn Capitals are the third best team in all of Europe. And that, of course, a great achievement after the second place finish last year.
And they had some really tough losses. They were all close games.
All 5 games Bonn played really close within 3 runs.
But then this one, I think they just lasted a little longer than their opponents. You saw some mistakes on the other side that they were able to capitalize on, and ended up pulling through with a win.
A great comeback in the top of the 7th, as we now will hand it down to Angela Beckmann and Max Schmitz.
Max Schmitz, head coach of the Bonn Capitals. Congratulations, 3rd place, Champions Cup. I mean, you could feel that both teams had not much fuel left in the tank, right?
I think the plan for both teams was to win this tournament, and then it's tough to find the energy and the courage to come out here and give it your all and give it your best. But I think that's when really the home field advantage kicks in, and I think our home crowd and the enthusiasm that they brought to the ballpark today that really carried us through this 7-inning game and was the difference maker for us in order to get the energy that we needed to win this ball game. So huge appreciation for all the fans that came out and showed up and carried this team to the victory today. Very happy to finish the tournament on a really good note, and now we can look ahead on the German Bundesliga and making sure that we win a championship.
Of course, you don't want to pick out any player. I mean, it's a Bonn Capitals team effort, right?
We are 24 on the roster. Everyone has their role. Everyone is part of this team. If somebody goes down, it's the next man up mentality, and we need all 24 in order to be successful. We have a great team chemistry, and I think that's also a difference maker. We are really happy about the guys that we have. That's a really special group.
So congratulations again and enjoy the party.
And back to the booth. We have the Capitals team in a big circle next to first base, now joined by their head coach. Talking to the guys, I think they're excited with the win. I can predict that, I think. For 3rd place, that's a big finish here after the disappointing loss last night. And I think Bonn securing a spot, at least one spot next year for a German team.
Yeah, it's been really fun seeing the guys out there. They've played a great tournament all around, really good in all 5 games. And as we have around 1.5 hours left until we'll, of course, be back for the final.
Yeah, Tom will be back. I will not be back on the microphone, but I wanted to just say thank you for everybody. We have a great team here. Tom has been commenting every game on Field 1 this week, so my hat goes off to him. And the rest of and Max sitting next to him doing the direction, and Angela for organizing the technical side with that can made possible to have so many cameras and microphones and being able to even do the on-field interviews. So I hope you guys who've been watching it, guys and gals who've been watching it from home or from work or wherever you are. I did watch some games from work this week, so make sure you tune in tonight for the final.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time for everyone. I think 2 great teams, Amsterdam and Parma, facing off the 2 best teams of this tournament.
Yeah, so it should be an exciting one today to close out the tournament. And it's hard to make any sort of predictions. It's 2 really good teams, and it might come down to the pitching as well, as and to the energy level, as we saw with this game. A lot of the guys are just really exhausted after a long week, and that it's a big difference today. Today is actually quite warm. Hopefully it'll cool down tonight. So it was a good day for baseball. It was a fun game. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. And we're going to sign off here. This is my name is Oli Tangen Jr. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
I'm Tom Paulus. And I'll be back later, as mentioned before.
All right. Goodbye from Bonn, Germany. Champions Cup Baseball 2022.